Well, this week is going to be an absolutely insane time in terms of Xbox and Game Pass news, as it is now officially Gamescom week. Today, we have even more news on the Xbox Game Pass games coming our way to our consoles for the remainder of August and beyond. Today, I'll be covering 15 games, so with that, my name is Fletcher, this is Xbox Nation, and let's dive right into it. First up, we have two games that are out right now, but do be warned, these are PC only at the time of this video. First up is Blacksmith Master, and this game lets you manage your own medieval smithy and supervise the entire process from mining ores and gems to designing and selling your finished products. You can forge everything from weapons and armor to tools and cooking utensils, ultimately to fund your craft and become the ultimate blacksmith. I can't lie, but this is the first time that I've ever heard of this game, so I have done a little bit of digging online, and upon doing so, it looks like this game has a ton of praise. That is due to it being insanely addictive and being one of the best shop tycoon games on the market. I would say to check it out if you like these experiences, especially now it's on Xbox Game Pass. Voidbreaker is the next game, and my god, this looks absolutely insane, and I will be booting it up on my PC right now, no questions asked. I covered this one a little while back now, but essentially it's a promising new roguelike first-person shooter, and it looks utterly insane, absolutely gorgeous visually, and personally I'm kind of still stumped as to how one single developer has managed to craft this awesome-looking experience. If you are wondering what this one entails though, you aim to escape an endless cycle by fighting off hordes of hostile AI. It is featuring robust environmental destruction, deep weapons modding, and according to the trailer, telekinetic powers. Voidbreaker is looking to deliver some striking visuals and gameplay described as adrenaline fueled, and to be honest with what you're seeing on screen now, it looks 100% true. It's great to see it land on Xbox Game Pass, and I will try to do a review when I can. Persona 4 Golden is officially on Xbox Game Pass this August, and honestly, this is one of those games you just cannot miss. Long hailed as one of the best JRPGs ever made, it's finally more accessible than ever on console, PC, and cloud. If you've ever played it, the setup is brilliant. You're essentially a high school student in a quiet town, balancing friendships, school life, and also part-time jobs by day, but then you'll dive into the mysterious Midnight Channel to face nightmarish dungeons by night. That sort of blend of social sim and dungeon crawling combat is still unmatched to this day, and the cast of characters will probably stick with you long after the credits roll. With its enhanced visuals, smoother performance, and all the charm that made it so blimmin' legendary, this is hands down one of the best reasons to boot it up on Xbox Game Pass when it lands on the 20th of August. Herdling is the latest adventure from the studio best known for the atmospheric journeys of both Far Lone Sails and Far Changing Tides, and is making its debut on Xbox and Game Pass on the 21st of August. This time around though, the vibe is familiar yet very distinct. You're not piloting a machine across a desolate world, but instead you're guiding a gentle herd of strange cow-like creatures, and they're known as calicorns. Don't be fooled though by the calm and scenic presentation throughout this game. The path ahead is filled with tons of challenges, from environmental puzzles to mysterious hazards that will be lurking along the way. The twist is that your calicorns aren't just your companions, they will be your essential partners, helping push obstacles, solve traversal problems, and then carry you further on with your journey. With its mix of serene exploration and light puzzle solving, this one feels like you need to keep an eye on it for this week. I will be publishing my review shortly before its launch day, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel with a subscription down below. It's quite obvious that the Gears of War franchise is one of the most influential series in all of modern gaming, but not everyone has had the chance to experience where it all began. Well, on the 26th of August, we are finally getting our hands on Gears of War Reloaded, and it will be available day one on Xbox Game Pass. Honestly, this game really sets the tone for third-person shooters, with its gritty atmosphere, heavy cover-based mechanics, and unforgettable characters. It is great to see that the Coalition are giving us fans and also newcomers the chance to revisit that landmark moment in gaming history. With 4K visuals, 60 and 120 FPS, VRR support, and so much more, it's gonna look so bloody incredible. I did cover a video regarding Gears Reloaded a couple of days ago, so definitely check it out with the link below if you're interested in finding out more. Well, if you do want to experience Dragon Age The Veilguard, I guess you can do it now as of the 28th of August, as it is finally landing on Xbox Game Pass. I don't think I really need to remind you, as it's so widely publicized, but this game is probably the worst performing Dragon Age game ever made, and it also sold dramatically less than EA have ever anticipated. The game also saw a ton of backlash at the time due to straying away from what made Dragon Age so good in the first place, and it was quite a shame as Inquisition was almost a Game of the Year winner. To me, I've only played it briefly and I did find it a bit hard to get hooked on this one, but I do know that some out there do actually quite enjoy it. It is a mixed game for sure, but if you want to finally dive into this RPG, then you can do so this August with your Game Pass subscription. September at the moment does seem to be pretty dead for Xbox Game Pass, so I am kind of hoping we get tons of announcements over this coming week to keep us enthralled. Well, one game that we do know is coming this September is Frostpunk 2. Yes, the PC version has already been available for quite some time, but next month finally marks the release of the game on our consoles, and it's quite anticipated by many within the console space. This newest entry though is set 30 years after the original, and we will again lead a desperate society in a frozen world where managing dwindling resources and keeping people alive is tougher than ever before. The sequel did introduce a ton of new features and has been widely praised over on PC for bringing such a substantial change to the original. With next-gen visuals, new governance systems and tougher choices, Frostpunk 2 is looking like a great addition for all of us on Xbox Game Pass, especially for us console owners. You will definitely not be prepared for Denshattack, a new game just announced for Xbox and Game Pass at Gamescom opening night live and is launching in spring of 2026. Published by Fireshine Games and developed by Undercoders, Denshattack is a fast-paced action arcade game in which you drive a train through ridiculous stages. Oh, and you can also trick like a skateboard. Inspired by anime and Japanese culture in general, as well as games like Jet Set Radio and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, along with Sonic the Hedgehog, this is a mad combination of different ideas that definitely has that sort of Dreamcast and PS2 energy. Each of the game's 50+ stages will challenge you in various wild ways as you ultimately master the breakneck gameplay, and it does involve racing alongside train tracks as well as pulling off a number of outlandish maneuvers. It looks utterly brilliant, and you can look forward to this sometime next year. Moonlighter 2 finally got a release date, and the game will be landing onto Xbox Game Pass this October. As you may have surmised given its name, Moonlighter 2 is a follow-up to 2018's Moonlighter, which starred shopkeeper Will, who, as you come to expect, moonlights as a dungeon exploring adventurer. In this new game though, he is now stranded in the mysterious village of Tresna, and searching for a way home through an interdimensional mess, a quest that demands plenty of dodging, rolling, fighting, looting, and also clever shopkeeping along the way. As for what we can expect out the gate though, there will be 3 biomes for us to explore on its initial debut. These biomes will include unique enemies, and when we return from these biomes, there will be plenty of relics for us to sell in Will's shop. It is entering into an early access preview state, so it seems like we'll get plenty of more content down the line. It does seem pretty decent so far, and the devs actually have me quite excited for this brand new indie game. This next game is free to play, but has now joined the Xbox Game Pass library. Delta Force only launched as of today, and it's been seeing some good feedback across the board, especially for a free to play game, and our Xbox Game Pass subscription is giving us some nice perks right out the gate. Right now, you can go to the perks section of your subscription and get some lovely skins for some different weapons, which you can see on screen right now. I do also believe that we'll be getting some premium currency down the line as well. With it being on Xbox Game Pass though, Ultimate members can now also stream the game as it is cloud enabled, which is just lovely to see. I would be curious though, have you tried out Delta Force yet? I'll be keen to hear your thoughts on it in the comments below. Well, we do have a game actually entering the standard tier as part of this wave of Xbox Game Pass games. If you're part of Xbox Game Pass Standard, you can now play Goat Simulator Remastered on the 20th of August. This updated version of the cult classic took the chaotic physics-based antics of the original and really did crank them up to 11 with improved graphics, smoother controls, and a ton of new content. The game's humour was of course as ridiculous as ever, as one minute you'll be headbutting a car into orbit, and the next you'll be wreaking havoc at a fancy gala or wearing a jetpack. Whether you want to dive into it for the laughs, or you just want to unwind with some mindless fun, this game is guaranteed to deliver some good laughs with your standard subscription. As a brief mention, as I did mention it in the past couple of videos now, the Heretic and Hexen remaster is now available on Xbox Game Pass. This brings the classic 90s shooter into the modern era with some lovely quality of life changes such as better performance and fidelity, an enhanced soundtrack, local split-screen deathmatch and co-op modes, as well as online crossplay. It has been incredibly well received as a package so far, and you can dive into it right now. In terms of Gamescom, we already have a couple of updates for games coming to Xbox Game Pass in the near future. Routine just got a brand new trailer, and it gave us more of a look at the incredible game we will get to experience sometime later this year. If you're unfamiliar, this is a first-person sci-fi horror game set on an abandoned lunar base, and it does feature plenty of retro analog technology as you go face-to-face with a terrifying threat. Since its first announcement all the way back in 2013, Lunar Software has been beavering away for over a decade to flesh out this immersive world, and ultimately to scare the heck out of us. It looks absolutely incredible so far, and they're really nailing that shockingly creepy and abandoned vibe. Obviously, as I did mention, and surprisingly, it is still coming to Xbox in fall of 2025, and I can't wait to try it out when it lands on Game Pass. As of a few hours ago, Hollow Knight SILKSONG did send out a tweet over on Twitter that they will be holding a special announcement this Thursday, the 21st of August at 7:30 AM PT, and no doubt this will be finally giving us a release date alongside more gameplay for this upcoming indie gem. We already had a confirmation from Xbox at the showcase back in June that SILKSONG will be arriving alongside the Xbox ROG Ally this fall, so it seems right to get some more information on this one. I hope all of you SILKSONG bros are finally ready for this Thursday, and I'll bring you all the details once they drop. Unfortunately though, as we are receiving a new batch of Xbox Game Pass titles, that does mean that we are losing some towards the end of August. Do remember to take advantage of your different sales out there, or wrap them up before they do leave the service. The games leaving are Ben 10 Power Trip, Borderlands 3, Paw Patrol Mighty Pups Save Adventure Bay, Sea of Stars, and This War of Mine The Final Cut. Again, these are available until the 31st of August, so you have just under 2 weeks remaining. Make sure to check back here on the channel tomorrow, as I will be updating you more on even more Xbox Game Pass games, new release announcements, and so much more. You definitely won't want to miss it, as there'll be a ton of content, so make sure to subscribe down below. With that though, check out the video on screen now, as I did cover the 10 things that you need to know about Gears of War Reloaded before it launches next week.